We're going to introduce today our EasyRTC project, which is a full stack open source toolkit. Just a little bit about Priologic. We're a 25-person company. Not all of them working on WebRTC, just a part of them. We're located up in Victoria, BC, Canada. Generally, for the last 10 years, we've been building stuff for people down here in the valley. And just over the last year and a bit, we've been developing WebRTC. We have a team that specializes on that. And unlike a lot of the venture startups, we're completely internally funded, so we don't have a lot of debt. That's a good thing. We've been to 2 of the WebRTC shows, and this is the 3rd. And we've won 2 awards, so we're really proud of that. One for EasyRTC last year. At this point last year, it was just a glimmer of a product. But we demoed, we had 4 things working. That was really good. So, and one for Talk, which we've demoed before as well, but we've added some new features, so I think you guys will be impressed. Next slide. So one of the things what I noticed in the demonstrations yesterday was there was, everybody had the kitchen sink sort of experience. We do everything. So what I wanted to do was just highlight how we're different. We are a full stack WebRTC open source product offering, and there's very few of those, maybe 1, 2, or 3, something in that sort of number. We do put a lot of feature source code, so how to do building blocks along with our stuff, and we do have a WebRTC community that's right now over 3,000 servers strong, so who knows how many developers. And so our business model, which I keep getting asked this whenever I say I'm open source, is that we're building licensed products and premium services around the open source products. So now the other thing I want to point out is a lot of the demonstrations here are happening against a platform as a service situation. Now the benefit of that is you don't have to have your own back end, your own signaling server. But there's a couple of worries. So ask these 2 questions to yourself, depending on what you're trying to do. What will happen if your favorite platform as a service or video chat as a service is shuttered? So we've actually seen an example of that already. So the customers can be left kind of in a lurch, might have to redo their systems, that sort of thing. And what metadata about your customers, particularly if you're financial or medical or you've got student data, where do you want that to be? Do you want it to be in your closet or under your control or somewhere where somebody else is under control? So, next slide. So what we're going to do today, we got two or three little demos kind of knit together. One is EasyRTC. Last year, this time, it took 5 minutes to install. This year, it's a 1-minute install, as long as the network's working. And if it isn't, we can pretend it is. We have got tons and tons of more sample code. We got multiple browsers that we're now supporting, whereas last year we didn't. And then we're going to switch over to Talk.com. Talk.com is a free multi-way video chat that we've been using as a demonstration, just letting people use. And we're gonna do a little demonstration there, showing how we can embed a Talk.com session into a website, or how to go that way, and then a little mobile demonstration showing Talk running over iOS. So I'll pass the demo over to Rod.
Okay. Hey, thank you, guys. I am the server lead for EasyRTC, and so what I'm going to try to show to you is an install of how to do EasyRTC in as short a time as we can. What we just managed to do is release a new version that people have been waiting for a while, where if anybody here is familiar with Node.js and have seen our offering before, we have a new version out that is actually a pure Node.js module, which makes it much easier and much faster for doing updating and upgrading and so on. And so you'll see that in action. It does change how the install was. So if you're familiar with the previous method, the new method of doing installs does require you to actually have a few files in your folders. And we actually have, what you actually see here is our GitHub page with a few extra files. And all you have to do is just grab this, this directory in the GitHub, move it into your directory on either Windows, Mac, or Linux system, and do what's called an Npm Space Install. And let's see if I can get that in here. So I've actually done it here in this my site. I'll just do a quick directory here to show you. Actually, it looks like I did a test and forgot to remove it, so I will actually do a real install here. Okay, so we'll do an npm space install. And what this does is this actually looks at, there's that package.json file that has a listing of a number of different packages in there, and it actually goes, okay, we need to install everything to deal with this application. And this includes EasyRTC. And so now that's actually it for the install. Next up, we're going to run it using a node space server, and we are now running EasyRTC. And exactly right. We don't trust the internet, so we actually have our own internet here. What now I can do is pop into the local host just to show it's running. By default, when we install it, we do go to port 8080, and that's just because on some systems they don't like you to go into below 8, into the lower port ranges. This is now running EasyRTC with Express, so it's actually a combination of a signaling system and a web server. And so what we, with the default install, you get a whole bunch of different demos. Everything from how to do instant messaging, simple audio video where you can do it with a very small amount of code, video only, audio only, how you can control video and audio, screen sending and receiving. One of the things we might notice is there's a whole bunch of new checkboxes there for Opera. I'm very happy to see that. And we're going to be showing off the file sharing in a little second. So first off, why don't we take a look at the simple video and audio demo. All I'm going to do is just allow, and we're up and running. I've actually got somebody over here on the left. Oh, hey Mike.
Hi Rod.
Okay, so that is actually up and running with a peer-to-peer solution right there. Each one of our demos has got code for right there, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Next up, I'm going to do a file sharing. Everybody's kind of curious as far as what's happening in data channel land. I'm happy to see that with the later versions of Chrome that are now out, we've now got reliable data channels, which makes these types of file transfers happening fairly nicely. One of the, back in the office, and we're going to do a small file here, but back in the office we were transferring 1,000 meg files without any issue. So in this case, we've got a file here called Attack Bunny, and it is about 85K, so I'm just going to press on accept. What you're actually seeing here is there's several different things that EasyRTC provides to make it easier. As far as a drag and drop handler and also saving issues, saving handlers and such. So I'm just going to open up the Attack Bunny. There we go. This is actually Mr. Bunny, our pet rabbit. So that is EasyRTC. Why don't we take a look and see what's going on the talk side, as Doug mentioned. So I'm just going to pop over to a different server where it's actually just running separately here. So this is talk.com. We've already given demos. You can come up to our booth to actually see other ones. And what one of the things you can do is come over here and say what type of room you want. So why don't we go for free beer? Enjoy. We're going to allow the camera and microphone. And one of the beautiful things about this is we tried to make this demo all about how easy it could be for doing a connection. So I'm hoping that we're going to get a connection here pretty shortly. Actually, before we actually see, he's just taking it right now, why don't we actually show you the settings. One of the options that we do have in talk.com is the ability to embed talk.com into your own site using a simple iframe. after you've actually embedded it in your site, you have the ability to actually set CSS. Oh, not like that. When I answer here, what we're looking at right now is, this is actually an iOS client working over Talk. And that's actually something that we have coming out as another tool in a short while, we hope. And so, thank you.